Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in for another episode. We are here at Smith Mountain Lake in Virginia, day one of practice. I just came back to get the camera. We've been out, excuse me, we've been out for a while now, a couple hours. It gets bright so early. Trying to find a shad spawn, haven't seen it at all. But I figured I'd bring you along on the ride, kind of show you how I'm breaking down a completely new lake. Hopefully we figure something out and have a good time. It's a beautiful morning. So I'm trying to cover a lot of water. This place is massive when you look at the amount of shoreline. I think it's only 20,000 acres, but it's got 500 miles of shoreline. Heavily developed, tons of docks, tons of riprap, seawalls, that kind of stuff. And being that it's the first week of May, we could have fish in all different stages of the spawn and even into summer mode. So my plan of attack was to pick a section of the lake first thing in the morning, really try to run around, see if I could see any shad spawn activity, which I saw zero. Didn't even have fish following my bait. And really I'm picking some of these short pockets, which the lake is full of. And I'm picking like 2 or 3 in an area, and I'm fishing from the lake to the back of the pocket. And the plan is to see if I can determine if the fish are, you know, in the backs or out towards the main lake. And at the same time, trying to determine if I can find some fish that may be spawning or maybe fry guarding, or maybe they're completely done. And so far, what I've found is I can catch fish everywhere. The first couple pockets I've covered, I think I've had no big ones. You know, I probably had 3 scoreable fish, probably another, 4 or 5 shorts. And, you know, so a bite, it feels like a bite every 15 minutes. Really just trying to cover water. So if I find something like this looks really good. This is actually the first laydown I fished. There's a bunch of laydowns here. Oh, there's a bass. He's right on it. Is he gonna eat it? I don't think he was a scoreable. Anyways, the point being, you know, I'm trying to cover water to see if I can see some fish, see if I can catch some fish. And I mean, there's fish up, but every fish I've seen has been under 2.5 pounds. And this lake, from what I understand, is known for having a really good population at 2.5 to 4 pounders, with big fish generally being a lot bigger than that, you know, 7, 8, 9 pounds potentially. So what I'm trying to do is not necessarily find the area I want to fish, but really more like the actual creek. What I really want to figure out is there a part of the lake where I feel like I've got better quality? And you know, right now where I'm at, can't say I necessarily feel that way, but it's tough to do this when you just pick a couple of pockets. You pick a couple pockets and you pick the 2 best pockets in that area and you just fish them, and you have this false opinion of what that area is like. And if you fish it and you pick 2 bad pockets, you might not understand what that area has to represent. But the thing is, I've only got 2 days. So if I've only got 2 days, I gotta break this lake down as fast as possible. And being that it's heavy hitters, I would rather put myself potentially around less fish if there's better quality around, because there's really more money to be won with big fish. Now you want to advance to the next rounds, but if you can catch big fish for your first 2 days you fish, you could leave here with $25,000 if you win both $10,000 big basses and you get paid just to show up. So that's a lot of money. Whereas you could make it all the way to you make the cut and you only leave with $7,000. So big bass really pays a substantial amount in this. And I'd like to be around better quality fish. Now, generally on these types of bodies of water, you know, the lower end is going to be where your bigger fish are, less numbers. So I know that, but I also know that they have been stocking Florida strain in here for the last, I don't know, 8 years or something like that. At least this is what I saw a fish biologist talk about. And I know they stock them up the creek arms. There's kind of like 3 main creek arms, and they stock them so further back up the creeks away from the main lake. As I get my scamper rig all tangled up here through the legs. So I know a lot of the biggest fish come from up the lakes, and that's, you know, a big part of where you want to be. And I also feel like up the lakes you have better potential at probably catching numbers. So I'm leaning towards up the lake. We did just get a pile of rain, and that is probably going to muddy up the up creek arm portions. Now we've still got probably 2 foot, 2.5 foot of visibility where I'm at here. It's really milky. It's not dirty. And I don't know if this is generally how it is or what, but I actually like it. I think it's a good color for fishing. It's clear enough the fish can see your bait, but it's dirty enough where it gives you a little bit of protection from them seeing you. Well, we found a little bit of a shad spawn still going on, which is pretty late. It's 10 o'clock and there's still some shad spawning up against this kind of bluffy bank. Haven't had any bites, but it's definitely happening. And if I were here earlier, it probably would be happening even more so. That still doesn't mean that there's fish on it, but it's definitely happening. We knew it would be somewhere. Man, it would be nice to find a bank like this where you catch 3 or 4 real quick just to get on the scoreboard. That's a big one. That's a catfish. God dang it. Flathead. Golly. Not a giant, but you are mean. Come here. Chatterbait, flathead. Wow. Hammered it. And slimy. Well, we've worked our way up the river quite a bit. Definitely got more colored water. Not dirty. Still probably got 2 foot of visibility, but really nice color, actually. The bigger problem is all the floating debris. This is all just floating debris mats around the bank, and it just almost becomes too much cover up here. Which, if this was a month earlier, I'd be all about it. There'd be a lot more fish pushing into this, but being that we're on the tail end of the spawn, I think a lot of these fish are out from this right now. They're not necessarily looking to come back up into it. It also did just come up, so if the fish are looking to come up into it, it may take them a day or 2 to adjust. So I'm not necessarily liking it. There's just too much bank cover to fish, really, is how I feel about it. I just can't get to the fish as well. I know if I go down lake, the water won't have come up and affected the down lake portion nearly as much. That'll be a lot stabler. So You know, I'm gonna bump around a little bit longer up here, but right now all I've caught is a catfish since I gotten up here, and can't say it's been all that great. I like how it looks, but it's a little too much up here, I feel like. Well, we got a better one, not a giant, but man, these fish do fight hard here. And they are healthy. Still upriver, just a little rounded point. Probably a 3 1/4. Just when you're just starting to think, I better get out of here, and they suck you right back in, and now you're here for longer. There's another decent one. Not a giant, but another scoreable chunk. Another 3. Both of them have had hook marks in their mouth. It's just these little points. Whether that's a pattern or I just ran into 2 fish, I don't know. And both of them had a barking dog. Gotta love it. Could just be a game of how many can you put your bait in front of before you get a big one. I just don't know that. I don't know. I don't know. We're about 4 hours into practice, so I don't know. All right, everyone, I'm gonna call this the midday report. It's a little bit before lunch, and we're definitely getting some bites. I mean, we haven't seen any really big fish, but a lot of scoreable class fish through the first couple days, which, you know, is a 2-pounder is what you're looking for. We've had a couple of 3 1/4s probably in that ballpark. We're still really just playing around with baits, and the thing is, I'm getting bit on like everything. I mean, I've caught them on a swim jig, I've caught them on a chatterbait, caught them on the scamper rig, I've caught them on a topwater, a little bit of everything. I'm really trying to cover as much water as possible, which, you know, I feel like I could probably slow down and fish some of this stuff a little bit slower, these trees, with a flipping bait or a wacky rig or something, but I just want to cover water right now. So we're kind of staying with the game plan where we're just kind of hitting a little stretch, pull the motor up and go a couple miles, you know, and hopefully find a zone that we like. You know, I can't say I dislike where I'm at, because I'm getting a lot of bites. I don't know that it's going to produce. I don't know that it'll give you the same shot at a big one as other parts of the lake. So we'll see. You know, I'm going to give this a few more hours probably and pick up and head to a different part of the lake and just have a better idea. We only get 2 days to practice for these, so you want to be efficient and try to find enough water that'll last you throughout the tournament. It's not an easy thing to do. Well, I had to put you away for a few minutes, well, for a few hours, honestly. It's been raining, not hard, but pretty much for the last 3 or 4 hours. Light drizzle mixed in with a few harder periods and a few random rumbles, and So I put the camera away. It's now, what is it? 4:30. And we're in a completely different part of the lake. And I think I'm just teasing myself throwing a bigger glide bait, but it just feels so right. Like, got several feet of water visibility, like nice, just really nice cover for a glide bait. And you pick it up and you start seeing fish pretty quick when the bite for at least keeper quality fish is kind of dried up for me. So, whether it's showing me where fish are or teasing me, I guess I don't really know yet, but sometimes a glide bait's one of those baits. It's hard to pick it up, but it's also hard to put it down. And when, like I said, when you throw it, you start getting some action on it. You're just not hooking up with them, and it's just one of those things. I figure I might as well do it to see if I can find one that they might like. So in the tournament, if I've got a spot or two where I want to throw it, then I can pull it out. But the glide bait to me is it's a hero or zero bait. And if you're securely in the cut, pick it up. If you're securely out of the cut, pick it up. That's what I would say with it. There's a little 12-incher behind it. So many little fish. I really didn't think we'd see so many little fish, but this lake is just full of fish. I mean, you throw whatever it is and you get your bait tugged and pulled, and a lot of fish. So I'll throw this a little bit more, but I just think this is not just not the ideal bait to be throwing unless the situation is right. But it is amazing how often you get interaction from a fish. Well, it's about 6 o'clock and we are just covering ground looking for bluegill beds. I'm side imaging, looking to see if I can find some that maybe a big female might pull up on at some point. I really think we're a little too early for this. I did find one group of bluegill beds that did have a fish on it, so I know it's happening, but I think we're just a hair bit early for that bite. But I do think that's one of the best ways to catch a big one. It always is. So because I'm feeling a little under the weather right now, as you guys can tell, I had to sit down for a minute. I got the shakes. Fishing in that rain did not do me any good. So I felt like I was just making casts, going through the motions. And I figured at that point I should just sit down and idle and see if I can find a few things while we got a little bit of light left. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm very tired. So that's what we're doing. I mean, it's been one of those days where I like the style of lake, but I also don't like the style of lake, because a lot of times if you're getting bit by fish pretty much everywhere you go, it doesn't really help you really key in onto anything. And that's where I kind of feel like I'm at right now. I feel like I can pull up anywhere and potentially catch a keeper. The afternoon was definitely slower, so there is a little bit of me that thinks the morning bite, which was better, could have been because they were biting before the weather came through. Ultimately, I mean, they were, we know where some fish live, so that's good. The afternoon didn't really give me any confidence in any specific areas. We've really covered a lot of water, made a lot of moves. We've basically been from the dam as far up the river as you can go, just checking it. And surprisingly, it's not that much different anywhere you go. I mean, we got a lot of rain, and we got some color that came into the water, I think, and the water did come up a little bit, but it's about, I mean, you give or take a little bit as you move into creeks that might have some water coming into it, but there really isn't much muddy water, and there really isn't much like what I would consider very clear water. So we got one more day of practice. We're gonna, like I said, do this for a little bit. The sun had come out there for like the first time. There's a little patch of bluegill beds, just a little tiny one. So we're gonna go ahead and mark that. I like to save it with a house. One of the nice things with the Lowrance units is you can put all kinds of different symbols on it. And for me, the house indicates that's where fish live, whether it's bluegill or bass. And the reality is, in this tournament, we can't use our own boats, so I'm gonna have to transfer all of the waypoints over to I guess the boat that they're gonna let us use. I don't know what that's gonna look like, what type of boat it's gonna be, but a little bit of a pain in the butt. It is what it is, though. When they invite us to come and pay us to fish, I guess we have to do what they want us to do. And I'm a little bit more okay with it when we actually get paid to do it. But anyways, I think I'm gonna end it here. And hopefully you guys enjoy these practice videos. It's hard for me to like go all in on the video, because the reality is I'm not trying to concentrate on the video. So like I like to give you a little update, show you a little bit what I'm doing, and from that standpoint I feel like that's gives you a little taste of what the lake is like. And I like this lake. I think it's a very cool lake. I think there's probably some really big fish in this lake, so I think we might see some big ones, but all right guys, well, I appreciate you watching and joining me on practice day one. Hopefully we got a little bit more energy tomorrow, and we can find some more areas that I feel confident have some, you know, quality fish in them. All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow.